Hi guys and welcome to Prediction Week 25, and we start with the lunchtime kickoff tomorrow, which is Tottenham versus Newcastle. Some worrying signs for Tottenham in the week. Going 1-0 down to Watford. They did come back and win it in the end, but they can be got at, which is the point I'm trying to make. I don't think Newcastle have got the same kind of quality as Watford, so I'm going to go for a an easy win for Tottenham for this weekend. But as I say, make no mistake about it, they can be got at. So that's going to be interesting to see how their season pans out. Don't know when Kane's back, but they definitely do look short up front without him. So for this game, I'm going to go Tottenham 2, Newcastle 0. On to the 3 o'clock kickoff. So we have Everton versus Wolves. I'm going to give a result to Wolves in this game. As I say, I practically say the same about Wolves every single week. They're no fears of the Premier League. They are where they are for a reason. The position of the table where they are for a reason. I do think they should be a little bit higher, for their efforts, but it is what it is. So I'm going to give them a result. I'm going to go Everton 1, Wolves 1. But I was umming and ahhing a little bit to give Wolves the victory here, but I just don't think they've got quite enough to South Everton at Goodison Park. But if this had been the other way around, I would have definitely give a win to Wolves. So just bear that in mind to Wolves fans. Very good season this year. And as I say, the owner can invest in the summer, and strengthen for what you've already got. I think there could be a real threat next year, and they could even win some silverware like the FA Cup or a League Cup maybe. So we'll have to see. Chelsea versus Huddersfield. I did not expect Bournemouth to be beating Chelsea 4-0 on Wednesday night. I always say about the midweek actions, they're always absolutely crazy. I mean, Manchester United going 2-0 down to Burnley, Chelsea losing 4-0 to Bournemouth. Arsenal are absolutely dreadful against Cardiff. These teams are at home. Manchester United are at Old Trafford against Burnley. Arsenal, at the Emirates against Cardiff, and we're struggling. It's absolutely ridiculous. I don't know if midweek action has anything to play with it. People are cold. It's a midweek. They've just come home from work, and the crowd's not very lively. I don't know if all those kind of things come into play, but don't get me wrong. You've got to respect, Burnley. You've got to respect Cardiff, for holding off teams like Manchester United and Arsenal. But in my point of view, it is kind of embarrassing. We're at Arsenal. We're against Cardiff. We're down the bottom of the league for a reason. Yes, I know they're fighting, but we should be, seeing these teams off like a 3 or 4-0, especially at home. And the players that we've got, like Aubameyang and Lacazette, the players that Manchester United's got, Martial, Rashford, Lingard, 2-2 at Burnley. Well, Old Trafford, should I say, against Burnley. Just about 2-1, Arsenal for Cardiff. It's really embarrassing, man. And I say Chelsea losing 4-0 to Bournemouth. So Chelsea will want to get that right this weekend, and I think they will. I don't think Huddersfield have got enough quality to go to Stamford Bridge and give them much of a good game, but I've been made to look like a stupid idiot before, so in my point of view, actually, because we're fourth in the table, and considering who we've got on the weekend, I actually hope I am a stupid fool and Huddersfield can get something, but I don't think they will. So from my point of view, Chelsea 2, Huddersfield 0, in my personal opinion, rather. Brighton versus Watford. Obviously, Watford would be let down, losing to Tottenham in the end. Again, this could be quite a hard game for Watford. But they are in the table for a reason. I think they're 9th at the moment. So I'm going to give a result to Watford, but it's not going to be, very comfortable. So I'm going to go Brighton 1, Watford 2. We then have Burnley versus Southampton. Obviously, Burnley, I don't know if they'll be let down or they'd actually be still okay. They were 2-0 up to Manchester United at Old Trafford. Excuse me. Then ended up drawing 2-2. But I suppose if you'd have said to them before the game, you're going to draw 2-2 at Old Trafford, or you're just going to draw at Old Trafford, I suppose they would have snapped your hand off. So I suppose they're going to be reasonably happy. Southampton, again, they're fighting. Burnley's fighting. So I'm going to go for a tight, tough draw in this one. I'm going to go Burnley 1, Southampton 1. We have Crystal Palace versus Fulham. Again, two teams that are fighting. Fulham are fighting a lot more than Crystal Palace. It is at Selhurst Park, so I'm going to give the victory to Crystal Palace. I'm going to go Crystal Palace 2, Fulham 1. At 5:30 we have Cardiff versus Bournemouth. Obviously Bournemouth are going to be on a high, beating Chelsea 4-0 in the week, or in midweek should I say. Cardiff again, they're fighting. They probably could have got something out of the game against Arsenal because they were the much better side in the first half, and they defended superbly. It is at Cardiff, but because of the momentum that Bournemouth's got at the moment, I'm going to give them to nick the win. So I'm going to go Cardiff 1, Bournemouth 2. Now, raise your eyebrows. 2:05 Sunday fixtures. 2:05, Leicester versus Manchester United. We all know that I always practically give 2-2s, this, that, 3-2s, blah, 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 when it comes to Leicester. We all know that. If you've watched this channel for the last 4 years, we all know that we've come to know and love all the fixtures and the results that I give to Leicester nearly every single week. Sometimes Bournemouth as well. But Leicester's always that team. Now, I've always said that I think that Manchester United are one loss away from it all crumbling. At the moment, they all think that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is a hero, even though we kind of know it's not Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, it's Ferguson behind the scenes. But, that's divided by. They all think that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is this big, massive hero at the moment, and, he's the next best thing on earth. I am still not that convinced with Manchester United, even with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Yes, they have progressed, a little bit better from when, Jose Mourinho was there. But you look at the chances that they gave Tottenham at that game. Yes, De Gea kept them in, but another day, another goalkeeper, you could have lost 4 or 5-1 that day. Arsenal, if we wasn't trying to walk it in and, we just wasn't so poor at creating chances or at taking our chances, again, could have been a reverse. It could have been the other way around. It could have been 3-1 to Arsenal. So I still don't think that convincing. And as I say, going 2-0 down to Old Trafford to Burnley, I still don't think Manchester United are that convincing. And I think they're going to lose to the weekend to Leicester. And it's going to be really interesting, actually, how they recover to that. Because I think in 2 weeks' time, they've got Liverpool. Then I think they've got Manchester City. PSG in the middle of all those because of the Champions League. And then they've got Arsenal. So let's see how they cope with their first loss under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Came very close to Tuesday night, as I say. But time to raise your eyebrows. The result I'm going to go for this, I'm going to go for a lively, stupid, crazy game. Oh, can you believe it? kind of game. And I really hope so, because I love those kind of games. Leicester 4, Manchester United 3. Yes, Leicester 4, Manchester United 3. It's going to be a back and forward game. It's going to go 1-0 to Leicester. It's going to go 2-1 to Manchester United, 2-1 to Leicester, 3-2 to Man U, 3-3. And then, maybe a penalty or a corner or something. Leicester are going to get the winner, and they're going to win 4-3. That's my mind, and I hope so as well, because I want to get away from the table. So 4-3. I really hope so, because I love these lively games. I know people are sitting there going, "What? It has happened." If I'd have sat there and predicted on Wednesday that Chelsea lose 4-0 to Bournemouth, you would have called me crazy, right? But it happened. These results happen, believe me. Next, you might raise your eyebrows to me. At 4:30, Manchester City versus Arsenal. All week, I've been thinking, oh God, it's going to be like another Liverpool result, 3-1, 5-1, bloody 9-2. Anything that you could think of to give Arsenal absolutely another embarrassing result. But we have brought Denis Suarez in. No, he's not a midfielder. He's not a defender. He's not a centre-back, he's not a right-back, he's not even a defensive midfielder. But he can track back, he can play on the wings, and he actually gives us pace going forward. Again, Manchester City losing to Newcastle. I forgot to mention that with the Spurs game, actually. But Manchester City losing to Newcastle in the week. I know it was at St James Park, and I know it's going to be a different kind of game. But I think if Emery can give that kind of team talk of like, yeah, they've got Aguero, yeah, they've got De Bruyne and this, that, the other, but hang on a minute. We've got Lacazette, we've got Aubameyang, we've got Lucas Torreira, Guendouzi, Suarez, Ramsey, Ozil. The list goes on. Let them worry about us. Let them think, oh, look at the players that we've got to stop in Arsenal's team. I think Arsenal can get a result out of this game if they go out with the right tactics and they go with the right mindset. That we're not going to be fearless. We're not just going to be, schoolboys when we go 1-0 down, or just when like they have a really good chance. Like say it just skins past the post or they hit the crossbar and that. Stop going into panic mode, because these teams are capitalising it, and that's when we get absolutely battered. So I think if we go with the right mindset, and I also said, I don't think I've said it on this channel, but I've said on Twitter that yes, Arsenal lost 5-1 to Liverpool, but I bet you any money we don't get that many kind of results under Emery like we did with Arsene Wenger. Here's Emery's chance now to prove that Liverpool game was a one-off and that we won't be bantered off every single time we play a big team. So this is a big statement for Arsenal. We're fourth in the table, a big statement for Arsenal. So I'm going to go Manchester City 1, Arsenal 1. I'm going to give us a result. I'm going to give us the benefit of the doubt to be men, to be battlers, to be warriors, to go to Manchester City and actually battle out a result. I'm giving us that opportunity now. Do not let me down. Now I've given you that opportunity. On 8 o'clock on Monday night, we have West Ham versus Liverpool. Yes, West Ham are a fairly good side, but I think Liverpool are going to be far too much for them, even though it is at West Ham. I'm going to go West Ham 1, Liverpool 3. And on Wednesday night, I think they're playing this game just because they're supposed to be playing this game on the weekend of when the League Cup final is, but obviously Manchester City can't play that. So I think they're playing it on Wednesday instead. We have Everton versus Manchester City. I think that'll be a fairly good game, but I'm going to give the result to Manchester City. I'm going to go Everton 1, Manchester City 2. So that's my predictions for this weekend, guys. And as someone pointed out in the comment section below, I think it was Monday or Tuesday morning, that yes, the beard is going very strong. I wish I could say the same for bloody Arsenal's defence, that it was going strong. But yeah, it needs a bit of a trim actually. So I suppose that bloke's done me a favour actually, pointing that out. Because sometimes you don't recognise these things until you actually watch yourself back on the video and you think, bloody hell, I actually have a massive beard. I'm starting to look like blooming Braun Strowman from WWE. So yeah, so beard is going strong, but beard needs the trim as well. So that's been my predictions for this weekend, guys, and I will see you next week for next week's predictions. Thank you for watching, guys.